so much.
Do you have a question for yourself, Sally?
Pardon?
Do you have a question for yourself?
I have a question that I would like to ask you about your classes that you're doing, because my plan is to come down and study with you. But are you no longer teaching the classes in the Sarasota area?
Well, I still have my office in Sarasota, and so there's a good likelihood I will be in the future, but I've taken a break. I have some illness in the family concerning my father, so I've taken a break right now. I will be beginning level 1 in Miami, so we're still in Florida, and that'll be in March. So I'm going to go through the entire series down there in Miami, and then perhaps during the summer we'll pick up with a class here in the Sarasota area. Meanwhile, I don't know where you're calling in from, what part of Florida that is, but I have an online class that I'm experimenting with that's going to happen in early January, and that class is Kabbalah Pathworking. It's a very unique class, and it really has to do with getting a better handle on life and evolution of the self. I highly recommend it, and it will be limited in attendance. It will be visual like this and interactive like this.
Okay.
So you're going to have a lot of fun with that if you choose to enroll in that. So the answer is yes, I'm still teaching, but you're going to have to keep checking my website, sandyanastasi.com, to find out when and where. Okay?
Okay.
Did that answer that question?
Yes, and thank you both very much. I appreciate it.
Before you hang up, this is a very rare opportunity to get a message for yourself from Kayla Ambrose.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Kayla, my birthday is 4/29/49, and I would like to ask about my husband's health.
Okay. Just for a second to move out of Elizabeth, there was one other thing I wanted to say, which
Yes.
is I saw as Sandy was talking, and Sandy talked about guides, how they'll come and give us messages. And mine was showing books, stacks and stacks of books, which is usually a symbol for me for someone that's thinking of going to school or a certification. So just please share that with Elizabeth, that there's a course that she's been thinking of taking. It's definitely around her. She's very attuned to that, and she'd do very well right now with a new course that she may be considering. So I just wanted to pass that on before you go.
Yes, that's true. She
Sure.
is thinking of doing that.
Oh, she is thinking of doing that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's definitely on the right path with that, and whatever course it is that she's thinking about, she'll do very well. She's very attuned to it right now, so I'd welcome her to do that. Regarding your husband, I need his first name and his birthday to tap into his energy.
His birthday is 3/7/38.
Okay, and his first name?
Ted.
Ted. Okay. When I first tap into the energy of Ted, I see just a big teddy bear. He seems, really warm and usually high vitality, a lot of energy, and other people feel that energy around him, very strong, and I just want to say a teddy bear. I guess that's just me, like someone that seems very warm and lovable and huggable like that. So he's normally very strong. He seems to have, and Sally. Tapping into the Sally, really, Sandy too with the astrologist could tell you more with his chart, his full chart, but I feel like a Scorpio energy around him, even though it's not his sun sign, which means it's someone that has restorative powers and can heal very quickly. So I feel that he has that ability in him where when he's ready and done and works an illness through, he's the type that you see sometimes with Scorpio, when they get sick, they get really sick, but when they recover, it's almost amazing how quickly they restore and recover. He has that ability in him. More than anything right now, it's more about how he's feeling emotionally, which I know is hard for men to talk about, but there's been some emotional things that have really weighed him down more. It's more about stress and worry that has affected his health. If he can let go of those and find a way that he feels good about those things that have been troubling him, any other things that I see there, because the physical energy field is strong and able to restore and recover very well for him. He needs to work through that side and let go of that part with the stress, and the healing will come back very quickly with him. That's what I feel in his auric energy fields right now.
Thank you. And that's funny that you said that about teddy bear, because that's what I call him.
Well, I can see with the name too, but I just, I can't see him right now, but I just feel his energy. I just want to squeeze and hug him. He's very warm and viral. I think is that what they say, virile for a man, and just a lot of exuding that very strong energy. So if he wants to heal whatever's going on, he can, but just don't let the maybe you need to take him somewhere fun. Like Sandy was talking about, she just did, a little vacation away. And I think he needs to let go of some of the stress, and he's taking on too many problems from too many different people, and it's wearing him down, which is affecting his health.
All right. Well, thank you both very much. I appreciate it.
Can I ask Sally one question that came up as Kala was talking? For me, is what's going on with his heart and his chest area?
Well, he's had heart surgery in the past, about 3 years ago.
Yeah,
So,
and are you worried about that again with all this emotional stuff going on?
I have been a little concerned about it.
Yeah, and he worries about you a lot too.
I know he does. I know.
It's a mutual worry club here. My guides are suggesting, and it's funny, Kayla and I are on the same path here, because they're saying that a trip, perhaps instead of on the ocean, something by air, someplace you both wanted to go for a while, something to take his mind off of all these things that have been so worrisome, that makes you both so concerned. I mean, you're concerned about his heart, and he's concerned about everything about you, because you just get so down when you get nervous and upset. You guys need to break away and have a little bit of fun in your lives.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We actually do. You're right. Well, thank you both very much.
You're very welcome.
You take care. Bye-bye.
You too, Sally. Thank you so much for calling in.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love it when I'm listening to what you're saying, and I've been throwing some cards here. This card here is the reason why I was asking about Sally's husband's heart and chest area. I'm showing everyone the Three of Swords. And Kayla, I don't know if you ever work with the tarot cards or not. I've been working with them for years. And it's interesting because when I work with them like I just did, where I'm just kind of throwing a card out, that's Sandy working with the cards. And to be a tarot reader, you really don't have to have any psychic ability. The card has a specific meaning. It means there's an issue going on either with the chest or the lungs or the heart. But when my guides do the cards, they actually turn into living, moving, transforming things that are almost like moving pictures. It's pretty amazing. And I have to throw my own book completely out the window because they don't do it my way.
I love tarot cards. They were the first thing. I was very fortunate to have a very understanding mother, and she knew that I had these abilities. So I had my first deck at age 11 where I could practice and read them. And then I started doing astrology charts at age 13. And my parents were like, hey, she's learning math, so we'll let her do it. So I was very fortunate that they allowed me to play with that. And I collect tarot decks. I just think they're so beautiful as well as helpful.
Kayla, again, I'm drawing comparisons. I certainly hope you don't mind. Okay, I'm just finding this fascinating because I was probably maybe 6 or 7 when I saw my first aura. I had no idea what I was seeing. I was just watching people walk down the street in their bubbles. It was like they had their own little planet with atmosphere around it, and the atmosphere was the aura, Mm-hmm. And like you, I was 13 when I got my first astrology book and started doing astrology and started doing palmistry around 12 and so on. But didn't really develop, in my case, I didn't have that at-home support. So every time it came and I played with it, I laid it aside. And I didn't actually get into the psychic field and really work with it until my late 20s. So I'm always telling people that, just because you're a late bloomer doesn't mean you don't have it. You probably had it all along. You just weren't paying attention to it, you see?
Very true. I'm sure, Sandy, I know we're soul sisters, and I really feel a connection with you from Egypt and another lifetime before, much older than that. But I know we've both played and been in similar circles and worked together many times. So it's like being back with a sister again. I feel very comfortable with you, and it's like we're just picking up again what we've always done.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like those experiences. They pattern. And, I don't have that with too many people. I really don't. So, not that I know tons and tons of people who are gifted psychics and mediums and channels. So that's not what I mean. It's people who approach life from this very unique viewpoint. And there aren't a whole lot of them. Um, you know, I have a T-shirt that reads, "I live in my own little world, but it's okay because everyone knows me here." And and I know you understand exactly what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
You should have one of those T-shirts too. And we have another caller. It's Cindy from Pennsylvania. And Cindy, are you with us? Are you on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Can you speak up a little bit? I'm having a little trouble hearing you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, better. Cindy, well, you've got this wonderful opportunity to get a little mini reading from Kayla to ask questions or make comments on any of the things we're talking about. So shoot, what's your desire?
I was wondering about my career. I'm a little confused. I'm in school right now, and I'm not sure if I should continue with it.
Okay, well, my guide is saying continue, but let's give your birth date to Kayla and see what she gets.
Okay, it's June 27th, 1958.
Hi, Cindy. Just tapping into your energy here now to see what I see. So when I look into the auric fields and feel them, which one is expanding, I can see the different sizes. Like I can always identify a professor because their mental field is very, very large and their emotional field is very tiny, 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 where it's, you know, closed down. They're in their logical field. So it's always interesting to see the different fields like that. And while you're certainly, I feel you're very competent, beyond competent in your field. In fact, I think people trust you more than anyone else really at work, and the type of work you do, you're what they call rock steady with it, and they know they can come to you. And I think you're having a little bit of a burnout from things because you take you have a lot of pride in what you do. Whatever you do is a reflection of you, and people know so much that they can depend on you that you've actually allowed them to do that too much. So much that it's kind of wearing you out, and a part of you just kind of wants to take off, go do something different just to get away from that pressure. But a lot of times in life, we're given things to us, experiences, so that we grow. And part of this growing is learning how to express ourselves and stand up for ourselves in different ways. And certainly you have options. You could go to something different and reinvent yourself elsewhere. But if you stay with what you're doing, the test there is to pull back a little bit. I don't want to say slack off, that's not the right term, but let others come forth and take some of that load from you and not always be the one to take it. So I think it's more of a question of how much work-life balance you want to have, because what I really see in your fields is your emotional field and your spiritual field are much more open right now than your mental field, which I call for logic and working. And that part of you is really hungry for some new experiences. It doesn't have to be in career, though. It could be hobbies that you take on, or new friendships or relationships, or things that you do to nurture yourself in other ways, or make new friends, join some new group or something. You need to stimulate your mind and your creativity, and all your spirituality as well, as really wanting more and knows that there's so much more to you. And what I feel and what I see in your aura is that you don't want to just be defined that way, and too many people have defined you that way with your career, and there's so much more of you that you want to share and give, and you're not sure how to pull that away and open that up with others. So it's time for you to re-identify yourself, and you can do that by how you express with others without having to leave the career, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I had just taken a break from school. I'm in graduate school, so I took a little break.
Yeah, and you know what I also see, as far as Cindy, as far as the schooling is concerned, you needed that break. I think Kayla just said that, you know, you should give yourself that time to play and enjoy a little bit, which is I think what she was picking up on there. But you also needed to take that break because you had hit kind of roadblock, okay, where you were feeling, and again, I'm just rephrasing some of the things Kayla said here, that you're pushing yourself into too many different directions. And you needed that break so that you could pull back and kind of reorganize it and become less stressed out by it.